Welcome to the United States of America podcast. I am your host, Niti, and we are broadcasting live from the Food Church here on North Carolina. If you've missed past episodes, please be sure to take the time to watch the first episode and watch the rest like a documentary. We are people at peace, and we have declared peace to all nations around the world. This is not a marketing or a promotional channel. We are shining a light on knowledge that is being hidden from you, and we're sharing the truth about your birthright and your inheritance. We have moderators who are assisting in the comment section. Be kind and self-govern. And if you have questions, then please put them in all caps and only enter them once per show. So I'm not sure, who's going to be joining me, because right now what I know is that Greg is on his way. He's been skiing. Anna is working with the banks, and she's like maybe going to just show up and jump in. And so she's not here right yet, but she might show up in a little bit. So in the meantime, I am going to start going over our land recording office with everybody to let you know what it is that we're going to be able to offer there. Let me see if I can get this up on my screen. I hope everybody's doing well today. I don't know if you checked your bank account yet, but you should probably log in and check it. Okay. This is our Bucolic Living Law website. When you come here, then the first thing that you want to be able to do is create an account. So you'll click on the little person symbol, and you'll want to start an account. Once you get into the account, then it's going to ask you to upload, it's going to ask you if you need documents or if you already have documents set up. So let me see. I'm not great at doing this like fast. And I kind of was hoping that Greg was going to be here to help me show you where you go when you actually get on here. Here we go. So it'll pull you up. Can you guys still see now? Here we go. It'll allow you to come in and enter your name and, start filling out your personal information. But then at some point it asks you to upload. It'll say, like, do you have your own documents or do you need documents? If you don't get to the point where you put your first 3 documents up there, meaning like your 1779 and your 2 witness documents, then it will, within 30 days, I don't know why this keeps blinking off the screen. Sorry, guys. I'm not sure what's happening with that. You know what? I'll give it a minute and see if Greg jumps in, and then we can talk a little bit more specifically, like looking at the site. But it's very straightforward in terms of just filling the form out with your personal information. And then the thing that you want to be able to do pretty quickly is start to upload your 528s. And that would be your 1779 and your 2 witness statements. That lets us have your basic information in there because we're only using this service for declared Americans through Anna's process, which would mean that you're part of the only lawful government on the land and soil here on America. Now, it is not mandatory for you to join your assembly, but your assembly is the only lawful government on your state. So if you are interested in participating in your government and having a voice, then you have to volunteer. And you volunteer by providing them with copies of your records. If you don't volunteer your documents, then nobody's going to be presuming upon you. You have to choose to volunteer to participate in your government. And so you can be declared, you can open your GFG account, you can, claim your birthright inheritance and have absolutely no obligation to serve your government. But it would be nice if you were helping to serve on your assemblies. So once you declare, this allows you to self-declare. We don't want anyone to stand in the way. What we know is that there have been a lot of efforts to try to hold people out so that they haven't been able to claim their birthright inheritance, to declare. So this eliminates, the way that we set the site up, it eliminates anyone's ability, because even Anna says there is no land recording office that is going to monopolize her assemblies. There's nobody that should stand in the way of you being able to claim your birthright inheritance. So there are two buttons when you click in there. You can either push the one button and upload the documents that you've already done, or there's another button that you can push and it will help you generate your documents. So just know that it is a self-publishing site. And then once you've published there, then you can take those documents and you can also publish on the Global Family Group. Now, a lot of folks are publishing on ours because, number one, you just want to publish on as many recording offices as you can. But besides that, we have an ability for you to be able to control and upload notices. And that way, all of your private property, you can put public notices out declaring, the rights that you have over that property. And that's important. We're going to go over we're going to use Greg's land as a demonstration to teach everybody how to do that. And he's in the middle of that process. So once he's done, then we'll walk everybody through it. But until then, he's just still working on doing all of the paperwork for his declaration for his land patent. And in the meantime, that's right now I feel like the energy is flowing so hard and so fast. And, all we know from the Federation is that they're working as fast as they can to launch the banks, which there's not going to be a big announcement or anything. Anna has said that everybody should just log in every day or, frequently, and just one day the dashboard's just going to go live. So we know that it's in the works. So everybody can just check on that. And otherwise, I think everybody just pretty much has their head down and they're studying and reading. I think it's really important for everyone to start thinking about what it is that's going to be different between our government for the people by the people versus this corporate government that we've experienced. Because the corporate government is trying to sell services and is trying to sell things all the time, right? And They have their hands in everything. They're trying to tell you how to manage your health, what to eat, where to buy it, how to buy it, who to buy it from. Then they're trying to regulate who is trying to sell everything. Their big scheme is wrapped around the medical industry, which, we know that they're oppressing our health with a lot of this electrical interference, the EMF, interference, the poisoning of the water, the poisoning of the food, the poisoning of the minds, the television, the whole sphere of the centralized corporatocracy. And so it's important for all of us to, walk away from this and change our minds. But what's our government going to be like? Our job is just to protect the people and their assets. And so it's a very exciting time. Once everyone has their own inheritance, are you guys ready? Or have you been thinking about what you're going to do? Because there won't be schools anymore unless you fund it. There won't be a job for you to have to go to. So the work that you would be contributing to your community is going to be what you want to do. What are you going to do? It's so exciting. Like, I'm super excited to find out who's going to do what. What are we going to see? Because there's so many talented people out there that just do the most incredible things that most of us don't think about regularly. Don't you think it's super exciting? It's not going to just be the 3 or 4 forms of entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Right now, excuse me, I had a little tickle. They've only had everyone invest or expect to be entertained by basketball, baseball, football, hockey, or the Netflix, or, very limited things. But when you go out into the countryside, when you start traveling from nation to nation, and you start seeing what people are doing with their hands, the things that they think about, the music that they make, the artistry, all these various things that people are doing. And they're not going to have anyone telling them, well, you can only do this, this, and this. You can only do it this way. The funniest thing is, you have to meet a certain aesthetic. You have to have the approval and be within the parameters of the media mafia or the musical, realm. They only allow you to experience, whatever, the group of people that they want you to know for whatever the different, few genres are of music. But there's an entire kaleidoscope of artists that are out there. Why should you be limited to the few? And also, it's not even the top few. These are the people that are not even the most incredible. They're just the ones that are willing to go along with their, rhetoric, their agendas. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm looking so very forward to the variety of music, the variety of art, the variety of construction that someone is going to be able to do when their hands aren't bound and their minds aren't bound by the parameters in which they're able to build. They're not going to be, you won't be limited by, you know, resources. Can you imagine like building buildings naturally, breathable, and with, I mean, the things that I think of are very natural aesthetics, I guess. But there are architects, there are engineers, there are artists that have been held back, frankly. And they're only able to make like the very boring white boxes everywhere. Kind of sick of the white boxes. I can't wait for us to go from what I feel like is a very black and white world into like a palette, a tapestry of, bright colors like fuchsia or something really amazing. And so I don't know what you guys have been thinking about. Like I know that there's a whole bunch of people that want to like control and make the decisions and get involved with the government to tell everybody what to do because they think that's what they've been doing with us so far, right? But that's not the job. It's not. The job of the government is just to make sure to protect the people and the assets. Just make sure that everybody's operating in peace. That's it. But that is the whole government budget. That's all the government budget's going to pay for. The government budget is not going to pay for feeding hungry, educating, none of that stuff. This is what the communities are going to do. This is what the people are going to do. You're going to see the people, and everybody's going to have the ability to afford to create, their healing arts center, their youths and adults education program, their, I don't know what are you guys going to come up with? I can't wait to know. Everyone says, well, my kids really like the social aspect of school. Well, I don't believe there's any social aspect at school. It's a bunch of people being forced to be somewhere they don't want to be. When you have an authentic social atmosphere, it's where you have a bunch of people like this, whoever this is, saying, I like this for youth and adults, for them to have guiders. That's true. We just need people to be guides. And guess what? Every single one of you is a powerful guide to something. You're doing something that you might think is mundane that other people are going to go, you know how to do that? What is that? How did you learn? It is going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Nobody's going to be on their own. No one has to do anything alone. And somebody's going to get a bright idea. You have the resources to be able to make that bright idea come to fruition. And then everyone else gets to witness it. Amazing. I think that what we're going to want to do is look around where we're at, do a little bit of guiding, take a break, and drive anywhere, travel anywhere and not drive, and go see what anybody else is doing. Go on long tours, spend time in other places, see what people are doing, and then maybe come back and try to do something that we want to do for a little while again, and then do it again. What do you think? We really need to realize that the government isn't going to be telling us what to do anymore. We're in charge. Everybody is. Everyone gets to just, I think, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be like 6 months, a year of people just trying to reconcile the idea that they have the freedom to do something? How long do you think it's going to take before we start observing magical new things being developed? I know that the internet's supposed to get reset. Do you guys know that? The technocracy is crashing. That's super exciting in and of itself. Everything's going to be reset. All the assemblies on all the nations, once they're actually giving the marching orders to the de facto, if they're doing a good job, they're going to first want to bring all those guys home. Explain to them the truth. And then start educating them. Most of these people are Americans. They're not going to have to wait on their accounts like we all were holding the line and doing the work until that happened. We're going to have to be their guides in the beginning. Are you guys ready for that? It's going to be really important for all of us to really pour a lot of love over them and give everybody a lot of grace. I think this is going to be a big deal right here. Tabby's saying businesses need to close at 5 like in the old days. No all-night business. That's just definitely a truth. You know what? People are going to want to operate in a rhythm, a natural rhythm, a circadian rhythm. It's good for your health. It's good for your healing. No one's going to be getting as sick as they have been if they're honoring their body clock. You know? Nobody needs to rush and run out somewhere, at the crack of dawn. Unless you just like to get up with the sun. I like to get up with the sun and go to sleep with the sun. And I think most people, if they let their bodies like really talk to them, do better. They would do better to set themselves up. Most people who allow themselves to really listen to their bodies, if they don't need a whole lot of sleep, a lot of people go down with the sun and they get up, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And it's not a big deal because that means they go to bed right now about 7 or 8 and they sleep till 3 or 4 and they get up and they get a whole bunch of stuff done before the sun even comes up, and then they get to go bask in the sunrise. That resets a lot of your hormones. It's really communicating a lot of information right at sunrise. Being out in the sunrise and being out at sunset will help reset your body clock. Did you know we don't really need med beds? Did you know your body can regenerate itself if you allow it? But they have all these Gwen towers. They call them 5G. It's not 5G or 4G or whatever this crap is. They're Gwen towers. They're weapons. Okay. And they've weaponized the atmosphere, and then they spray the metal, and then they pulse it, and then they control all these different things, and it creates a lot of pressure. There's atmospheric pressure, all these various styles of pressure. Well, we are gel beings, like water gel beings. And so we're affected by this pressure. And we're also magnetic and electrical, and salt conducts electricity and sugar corrodes it. So when you are honoring your temple, and it is a gel, salt-based, electrical, you know, vibrational, we're vibrational. The thing that's incredible is we are vibrating at such a high frequency that we become visible. But we're made up of all these micro ecosystems, the microbiomes, multiple microbiomes, right? And so there's all of these things that people want you to believe are, like such pathogenic, parts and pieces of your microbiome aren't all bad. But yeah, you can have an imbalance. You can have too much of something, you can have too little of something. And so when you're out of balance, 99% of the time, the sun will fix it. Reasons why these crazy people want to block the sun. They're just doing everything they can to try to interfere because evil is losing. And we are remembering. This is the great remembrance, right? So we have to remember our, remember who we are. You got Dawned 6893. What effects will happen with the public school systems? The public school systems are not funded anymore, and they're never going to be funded again. We're not funding it. The government's not going to fund it. If you want to fund it, then you'll have enough money to do it if you want to. I didn't put my babies in a box with the white light. I didn't lock them up in the little box and say, go learn how to do something. No, we went outside. Most people are going to realize that what you want to do with your progeny is go and explore with them. You want to work with them. You want to create with them. You want to play with them. You want to spend all your time shaping them, and you want to immerse them in the community with other people, with you, together. And that helps to shape the community, and they get to develop relationships with all the other people, old and young. And then nobody gets left out. Otherwise, what they did right now, whatever this nonsensical system is that they have, it's so ridiculous. It leaves out all the young and all the old. What is the point of that? It just makes once you finally get done working for them, they don't have anything for you in the beginning, and they don't have anything for you at the end, because they just are trying to get you to the point where they can just capitalize on you. And capitalism isn't even the problem, right? So anyway, everybody is so worried. How are you going to use this bank? It's going to be so easy, you won't even believe it. QR codes work real good. You can scan them everywhere. And you don't have to have a machine. I mean, you need a computer or something, I guess, at home to be able to set something up and print it out. Once you get it printed out, then you can just go use it. It's not hard. This is good. Don't worry, be happy. Because if you can just find a way to bring the joy right now, everything else is just going to fall into place. Can you bring the joy? Everyone's so worried all the time. Everything's a problem. They create a problem out of nothing. What are these people who have all these problems going to do when we don't have any problems? I guess they'll just be making up more problems. It's going to be really, really cool. It'll be nice to be able to offer people relief. But are they going to believe it? I don't think they're going to believe it right away. They're so used to being used and abused. They don't even realize how much abuse they've tolerated. And it is going to be so nice to be able to show them their full sovereignty by giving them their full inheritance. It's going to be really, really nice. Edward, if you want to join an association, then do it. But why? Why do you want to do it? What is the purpose to join these associations? They're all incorporated, and we have no interest in that. Why do you want to participate in something that is regulated by dead corporate fictions? I don't get it. If all of you people want to be a part of an association, then don't declare yourself an American, because and I say declare yourself as an American, but anybody who is declaring themselves as a living man anywhere on this earth, okay? Because the ones of us that want to declare, we know that we are free to self-govern ourselves, and we don't need to be part of any group to have power, because we're not trying to control people. And we don't need all those people to get together with us to do something good for everybody, because everyone will have their own financial, until you have your own financial sovereignty, you are not actually sovereign. Everything that we've been working on, everything that we have been pushing for is to reclaim our financial sovereignty that has been there for us all this time. And once everyone has access to that full sovereignty, then everyone will be able to express themselves as our Creator created us to be able to express ourselves. And none of us get to stand over anyone else. And all the people that have been working tirelessly to interfere with the ability of all men to be free, I guess they're just going to be mad. I don't really know what's going to happen. I don't understand anyone who isn't interested in growing people and then allowing them to just go be free. I love the tapestry. I'm just looking so very forward to seeing the gifts that everyone is going to produce. It's going to be such an amazing thing. It will have been worth waiting for. And we all are going to live in a very incredible time where we get to witness that. I'm so excited. I really hope you are. I really hope you are. Tara Australis has been doing such a good job of researching and studying and now launching, they're standing over there. I mean, whatever Mookie and them are doing is great. They've been very patient and thoughtful in what it is that they've been working on. I think you guys are very well on your way. And I think it's going to be amazing to see, you know, what you guys do over there. We don't need to operate in trusts. Nope, not at all. The bank is operating in various, you know, with various trusts. The people that run the government, they are doing that. None of us need to do any of that. We don't operate in trusts. That is, you know, if you put yourself in a trust, then you are subjugating yourself. Why would you do that? Why would you lower your standing? Anna has spoken on that effect a lot. So, you know, there are trusts that were set up to serve all living men. But we don't need to trust anyone or anything, which is a corporation, which is what a trust is. A trust is putting yourself under man's law. We stand over that. We don't need to do any of that. You need to open a bank account with the Global Family Group. It is a bank. It's actually a prosperity center is what it is. The real banks are, you know, holding water, the currency, the only banks that you see are outside, like the creek banks, the lake banks, the banks of the pond. We're operating with prosperity centers. Trusts are what you use to manage the estate of dead people. Are you dead? Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Desi. Once the bank goes live, you're not being a bother either. You're not bothering me. Listen, once the bank goes live, there's a whole bunch of people who have various little issues. Most of the login issues are because you weren't logging in on a regular basis, okay? And you weren't logging in because there wasn't anything to do there because they were still constructing it, right? So once the bank opens, it's going to harmonize everything. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing except, you know, what you should be doing right now? Dreaming about what are you going to do? What are you going to create? What do you want to be busy working on? How are you going to be pouring your love over everybody? How are you going to do that? What is it that you're going to want to do? I'm really excited to see. I think I might have to on the maybe what we'll do on stage left after the bank's open is start featuring what people are doing and featuring where they're at and what they're doing. So let me know what you're doing because we want everyone to know what you're going to be creating. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be so fun. So you can't open a bank account as a declared American or you have to declare yourself living. So if you haven't declared, if you haven't corrected your status, then that means that you're still a dead sole proprietorship. So you have a lot of education that you require. And so this is not something to be debated. You know, everyone wants to call us conspiracy theorists, and this is law. This is law. You were usurped upon unlawfully and illegally because what they did was they converted your political status as a babe in a cradle, and they said that you were dead and lost at sea. So if you're alive, then you need to declare yourself. You need to say, hey, I'm right here and I'm alive. And if you don't want to be declared, meaning like you don't want to declare that you're alive, then you can just remain a dead fiction if you want to. It's your free will choice. You are so free, you can even remain in bondage. You can choose bondage. Knock yourself out. If you're talking about on the Global Family Bank, Rachi, the globalpreneur, then all those things are going to go live and be harmonized, especially if your documents have been accepted. Okay. So if everything's been accepted, then it'll all harmonize. Okay. Just think about it. They're doing this for the very first time to serve all the living people on the whole earth. Super exciting time. And we all get to choose. I think everyone is not, it's so much to really absorb. And I think a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to believe it till I see it. And that's fine. That is totally fine. I don't really get the people that don't want to, or they don't comprehend the part of declaring that they're alive. There's a lot of parts and pieces to this, but for me, it wasn't very difficult to comprehend that if I know I'm alive and I have people who are trying to control me because they were trying to control my business and say that I was not allowed to sell unregulated, uninspected, farm fresh, grass-fed meats, butter, eggs, and milk that were not bleached, poisoned, tainted in any way, and that were only bringing life-giving force and restoring people's health by allowing them to regenerate their cells. And I said no. I just told them. The regulators came and they were like, you can't do that. And I was like, yes, I can. Like, who are you? Oh, we are the USDA. We are the FDA. We are the NCDA. We are the CDC. Okay, well, you work for the government. And the government is supposed to serve the people, and I'm the people. And I don't need your service. So bye. No, thank you. And I just kept saying no. And they said, well, you are putting yourself in harm's way because you are opening yourself up for a litigious threat. And I said, okay, well, thanks. Bye. And then when I would be working with anyone in business, I said to them, I don't do business with people who want to threaten me litigiously. And I had literally an interview process before I would do business with somebody. And then I told them, I said, you're going to be responsible for yourself. So if you don't, on my website, it says, buyer beware. We don't operate, we're not overseen by the USDA or the FDA or anybody. Nobody's overseeing us. You need to come here at your own risk. And if you're not man enough to take responsibility for yourself, bye. I don't do business with consumers. That's a corporate word for things. If you're alive, then what we're doing is an agrarian exchange between living men. So if you want to be alive and do things that living people do, then you come on over. And if you don't, bye. Bye. right? So, okay, I see some questions coming up. Yes, you can. Once you correct your status, you're going to need to publish your declaration. And one of the places that you're going to publish it is on the bank. When you open an account, then you have to upload your documents that you want to publish. And when they're approved, then you are given an account. And before that, and when I say an account, I mean like an account that actually has real gold and silver and credit coming into it. And if you just upload some trash, they'll just lock you out. So make sure you're doing a good job, okay? Will there be a number to call? We don't have any GFB cards. There's no cards. And also, we probably won't have the same kind of fraudulent charge problem like people have had in the past. But I'm sure they're going to have a phone number or something. I don't know. Like, we're going to have prosperity unions that are going to open up on the land and soil. Some people try to say that that's done already, but no, nothing's open, okay? Let's see here. Oh, I'm muted. Sorry. I don't know how that happened. If you want to self-publish, you can go to Bucolic Living Law. And otherwise, I'm not real good at sharing a whole bunch of websites while I'm live right now. So if you go to my Telegram channel, then there's information there. If you go to any of the YouTube show notes for any of the previous episodes, there's links that are live in there as well. Okay? And those links can help you find an assembly or find how it is that you need to operate and get your paperwork done, okay? I don't export. I only operate locally, and I encourage everyone to eat within their hunting range, okay? So find some folks around you and support them. But I do teach about quality, and I wrote a book about how to vet your farmers. My book goes over standards like that, Farm to Fork Meat Riot. My links are in the show notes, okay? Thanks, Dorothea, for letting everybody know how to get going. All right, guys. Well, we're almost up at an hour. I've got somebody over here at the food church banging on my door. I don't know what's going on out there, but they will not go away. I'm going to go figure out what's going on there. And I'll look forward to seeing all of you. I'm going to have my meeting on Saturday. The links for that are in the show notes as well. And we're going to be back here on Tuesday. I'll be back with the ladies to do Exit Stage Left. And I'll see all of you guys next Thursday, okay? I hope you have a great day. Yeah, something emergent is going on outside because these people won't go away. Something's going on. I hope you have a great day. Bye, guys.